It's like someone punched through my chest, grabbed my heart, yanked it out, threw it on the ground and stomped on it numerous times. Took that, dragged it to the nearest meat grinder, ground it up, got the ground up heart meat, put some seasoning on it, and then put it back into my chest. This movie was heavy, and that's putting it lightly. Welcome to Real Reviews. I'm Chase Lee. I'm here to review the book adaptation of The Fault in Our Stars, coming from the same name as the book. The book is written by John Green, and this movie is directed by Josh Boone, and its adapted screenplay comes from the guys who adapted also The Spectacular Now and wrote 500 Days of Summer. Now, what did I think of this movie? Oh dear God, is this depressing. This is one long, depressing, just emotionally draining movie. But I gotta say, I liked it a lot. Like, usually I don't like young adult adaptations at all. Like, I only like a few. I like Harry Potter, The Hunger Games, and Ender's Game. Yeah, I don't know why I couldn't think of that. Those are the only three I've ever really liked as movies in general. And I gotta say, I like this one too. I really like The Spectacular Now, so if you guys want to count that as a young adult novel, I really, really like this one. And it's not because it's written by, two of my favorite writers right now who are like the masters at romantic dramas. It's also directed in a way where it's heartfelt, and you can feel the emotion, you can feel the heaviness on these characters, and it appeals to teenage girls, which were like flooded in my theater, or it appeals to adults as well. I think that's what I really liked about this one, is it appeals to both worlds. So let's break this down. The directing by Josh Boone. Okay, now basically this movie is like 95% drama and like 5% humor. Like, there's some funny stuff in there, sprinkled in there to kind of break it up. But for the most part, this is a just draining movie of two teenagers, 20-somethings, whatever. They're just in love, but they both have a condition. Shailene Woodley plays Hazel, and she's got cancer. Ansel Elgort plays Gus, and he also has cancer. And they're just kind of like they meet each other, they have a friendship, then they have a relationship, and we see the progression through that. And I think you guys all know what happens at the end. I don't even have to tell you the book, and I think you know what happens at the end. So it's just when you watch this thing, it's just emotionally draining, because you're following both of these characters in their lives, and like pretty much at the end of their lives. Oh dear God, I needed to watch a comedy after this. But overall, I gotta give props to the directing, man. It was just, I thought it was paced well, I thought it was acted well, I thought it was written very well. I just thought the emotional pull from both characters was fantastic, and the supporting characters around both of them did fantastic as well. It's just a movie that makes you appreciate life, to be honest, and I think that's what the director was going for, and just appreciate life and just live it to the fullest. So with the directing out of the way, the acting, Shailene Woodley as Hazel and Ansel Elgort as Gus. Funny thing, they play siblings in Divergent, now they're lovers in this movie. So when I see the Divergent sequel, it's going to be weird. Yeah, I'm going to see the Divergent sequel because I saw the first one. I need to complete the trilogy because I'm a completist, I guess. But yeah, it's just weird that they jump from siblings to lovers, with the span of like 3 months, because Divergent came out like March. But I thought this was the best Shailene Woodley performance I've seen in a while, because there was so much depth to her character. It was not just because she had cancer, and she was like a one-note person where she was depressed all the time. She was happy at times, she was sad, sometimes she was angry at sometimes. There was just a lot of depth to her. And I really liked that about her. There was also a lot of depth to Gus, her boyfriend or whatever, and the acting was just super powerful in this. It really was, and it reminded me a lot of The Spectacular Now, or like 500 Days of Summer. And this is my favorite Shailene Woodley performance. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just put that on record. I think it's my favorite so far, so And Ansel Elgort does pretty good too, and like I said, the supporting cast as well. But you mainly focus on these two people, and they blow it out of the water. Like, their performances were fantastic. Cinematography, it's very standard. Cinematography is not like something that's mind blowing. They do go to Amsterdam, which is great because they actually went to location for this. It was nice to have a change of scenery because we're focusing so much on the states and what they're doing. It was just cool to see them go to a different country. So that was a nice change of scenery. It added a lot of pop to the scenes that were shot in that segment. Editing wise, this movie is 2 hours and 5 minutes, and I gotta be honest with you guys, I'm not a huge fan of romantic dramas, but if you hook me in, I'm hooked. And this movie hooked me in. Right as soon as Shailene Woodley's character popped up on screen, very first second, and her monologue started going, I was already hooked, and I was not let go because I was just so intrigued because I knew what was going to happen. Some douche nozzle spoiled it for me on Facebook, but it was still emotionally investive, and the powerful acting and the realistic writing is what really drove this movie. Because this movie is like 90%, I would say 95%, these two characters. Like, they're literally in every single frame of this movie. So, I think that's what made it so emotionally invested, because we were seeing them for 2 hours straight, to where, like, when the end happens, it's like, that's heartbreaking. So yeah, I really enjoyed this. I don't know if it's going to go my top 10 for the year, but I felt the same about this one as I did Spectacular Now. I can't relate to this one because I don't have cancer. I do have Crohn's disease, but it's nowhere close. But I still enjoyed it, and like I said, I felt the same way as about Spectacular Now. It's like, it was depressing, it was realistic. I just, life sucks. It really does. But when you find that special someone, just go for it, man. Just go for it, because you may not ever love like that ever again. That's basically what I get from like both those movies, and yeah. Okay, this video's going on way too long, but overall, I think I'll give it a strong 8. I enjoyed it a lot. If you like Spectacular Now or like 500 Days of Summer, I think watch it for those aspects, not because it's the same guys that adapted Spectacular Now or wrote 500 Days of Summer. It's because it's realistic and it appeals to teenagers and adults. That's why I really liked it. That's why I was really invested in it. So that's my spiel on this movie, and I was actually surprised that I liked it this much, because I really wanted to see it, but I didn't know I was going to be blown away by what I just saw. So, have you seen The Fault in Our Stars, or have you even heard of it? Comment that place right below my face and let me know. And as always, thanks for watching Real Reviews. I'm Chase Lee, and tune in next time for whatever I review next. See you guys later.